Hey y'all, welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors. Y'all, I was down here looking around this jungle of what used to be my corn patch where I bush hogged it. Look at the mustards coming all up in here. This is where Michelle picked some mustards from the other day to cook. I was just kind of looking to see what all was in here. I mean, obviously we got a lot of that I call hog briar. Everybody tells me how edible it is every time. I have yet to cook any of it. And it's probably good. I just hadn't needed any. There's another one over there. Look at them big old volunteer. So I was going to show you the ones. I was just looking to see how many was in here. I mean, there's some little ones coming up. This time of year they start sprouting. Now them's turnips. Them look different. Let me turn you around. That right there is mustard greens. Let me get back over here to these. See all them? I got them old big wide leaves. All that's mustards. Well, listen over here. That is a mustard. Look at that there. Now that's different. See them leaves? That's turnip green right there. I'll have to make a mental note of that. And I was seeing if I had any more turnip green. Here's another something coming up right over here. There's a lot of that. That's turnsel or whatever. I think it's edible too. But anyway, I was just looking and I come through here with this plow and just drug it through there. And I don't know what I plowed up. But the ones that I personally planted up here, that's why I was scouting to see what was what and checking on stuff and just what we call down here kind of whim-whacking around, you know. Oh, look at him. Just barely a sprouting right there. I mean, ain't hardly growing worth of nothing, but we just finally got some rain. But why them down there grow up and do so good? But now this is my cabbage over here, and that's my collards up there. Let me show you what's happening to my cabbage right here. I have replanted some little ones because something had kept dying. Well, you see I got that granulated ain't poison poured around everywhere. I come around here to this one yesterday. Now, I done piled some dirt up on it here to try to save it. But the doggone ants had it just wrapped up. I don't know why they want to eat my plants, so I had to come through here and put ant poison around every cabbage. They eat the stem up right there. I guess they working on this one too. See how wilt it is. It rained yesterday. Looks like I'm gonna have to water them though. Now we done cut. You can see we done been nibbling at them. We done cut a few of them leaves. My wife did. I kind of scolded her. I said, I ain't ready to start cutting on them yet, but they probably as tender as they gonna get right now. It ain't like it's gonna kill them. Anyway, I just walking around checking on my garden stuff. Another thing I got coming up, and me and my brother-in-law was talking yesterday about these walking onions or multiplying onions. And I'm not 100% sure on the difference of all of them, but I know these are multiplying onions. I planted them last year right here. And it's been dry, and I see a few coming up. Now you can see right there, I got some big old ant beds trying to come right up here in them. And look at all them new sprouts right there. That is onions. You can see right here, they growing right all in there. You can't see through them sticks, can you? And then I got some right here coming up. Now, a lot of people think you got to replant them every year. Well, them come back up from what I left. I left some there to die and left them in. I don't never pull all of them up. So I've still got some peppers in them weeds. And I left some okra. Here's another thing I want to talk about in this gardening. I left some okra down here, and I got plenty of seed. And I don't know, there's still some in there. I can see it. Get it pulled over. Them things get too tall, you can't even cut them. And after a while, you done cut okra, you're sick of cutting okra. So you always wind up something like this, growing all down through there. Now, it got so dry here, a lot of ours died. But they Well, that broke right about when I got it in the frame of the camera. They say you can take them seeds right there and dry them and make like a coffee out of them. Have any of y'all tried that? I seen one old fella do that here a year or so ago in a video. I'm not big on making videos that everybody else has done, you know, just to make a video. But I have never tried that. If any of you, is it worth doing? If any of you has actually done it, can you tell me how does it taste? I hadn't tried it. That's what I was looking at. I was thinking about cutting all them and going in there, and I got that thing that you can make meal, you know, at cornmeal. I guarantee you I could run them through there and it'd grind that up just as fine. As ain't no telling what you make out of it. I'm a good mind to do it. Just see what it's like. But I don't know if you got to roast it. I think you got to roast them before you can make coffee. So I don't know. You could just grind it up and make flour or something out of that. I don't know. I know they make flour out of all kind of stuff. But I'm always experimenting with something, seems like. I'm going to walk down here, and I got my gloves. I was going to peel on my logs, I think. So these is the last 3 that I added to this rack. And I got 3 cut there. Now these 2 poles right over here have been here a while, and they a lot more dry, and I think they had been laying on the ground, and I don't know what kind of shape they in. I went ahead and peeled them because they might make rafter poles. I don't know. They ain't real straight. You see that? These all, though, are going to be posting. Most of these are big trees. You see, that one is a pretty good sized tree. This one's probably the biggest one that I have gotten. It's probably, I don't know, 12 to 14 inches in diameter at the bottom. But now we'll you see I didn't peel all the way to the top. They a little hard to peel down close to the butt. I have discovered that. But I'm going to put them in the ground upside down, and you can y'all see that glistening on there? I know my shadow is right in the way. But boy, that sun, that rosin's just a glistening on there, shining. Boy, you talk about sticky. But anyway, I got all them logs, and then I have got to peel, that's my post, 6 posts. I need 7. So this is going to be one of my, that's 15 foot, that's going to be one of my beams for my 30-foot width. I don't know what you call seal beams, maybe. So I got to peel one of these for post, and I'm probably going to peel that one for post, which I'm going to peel all of this stuff. So then I got this for my rear seal and possibly that, and that's a little bit small. I wanted them to be big, so I may have to split them into 2 separate ones too. I don't know. So that's one of my deals. I'm peeling everything I got down here, and I may wish that I hadn't to cut all of these into short logs. I know that one back there is long enough, and I probably want to put the smaller seal beam across on the outside edge, but I wanted the bigger post out there. So I don't know how I'm going to lay out what. I got something in my shoe poking me in the bottom of the foot. So anyway, I'm trying to somewhat figure out as I'm sitting down here how I'm going to do what and what log I'm going to put where, because I ain't a long ways from being ready to assemble the post and the beams across the top of the post that I'm going to lay the rafter poles on. Now, I have not cut any of my rafter poles. I may have 1 or 2 laying here that I wind up using, but I hadn't just went and cut any. I'm going to cut them a lot smaller, and I'm probably going to put them every 4 foot, I'm thinking. I don't know. I'll get up there and start laying them out and see how much give they got, because we're going to put lathing on top of them and then metal roofing, so you got to hold all that weight up, but that is it. And there's not going to be where I'm putting this, it's not going to be collecting leaves and pine straw like my shed does under the edge of those trees. The only thing we would have to be concerned is if we get that freak snowstorm, and we got one year before last, and there was several buildings around here collapsed because they just not built strong enough to withstand that. We don't have to prepare for snow here, or hadn't had to, might should have. So I need them to hold a little bit of weight. But it ain't like we got to prepare like the folks up north do, where y'all that's in Michigan or whatever up there and have 2 foot of snow at a time on the ground. We don't have that problem here. But you have to watch if you got a lot of trees, because that pine straw will collect on that and it will get heavy like snow. Wet pine straw weigh a lot now. I don't know how it holds up compared to snow. So I did have some people, and I thought I mentioned this in one of the last videos that I did down here, because I hadn't really just gonna film me sitting here rubbing and peeling on poles. This is what I'm peeling them with, y'all. Stand up and push this thing a whole lot better than a draw knife. I don't know why people are so hung up on using a draw knife. I have peeled logs with a draw knife. It's a poor do for peeling logs. And there's a lot of people that resort to it, and they think, man, that is what you need to use. Well, I have peeled all of this stuff right here, and I've peeled it all with this contraption here. And I don't know if you call this a spud peeler or a pole peeler or what it is. It's made in the USA. I was trying to see what that sticker on it said, but I can't read it no more. This is the way to go. I mean, it is basically a hoe straightened out. That's what it looks like to me, which it is obviously made a lot more stable and stout than a hoe. It is pretty thick. Now, a fellow like myself, I could have made one of these pretty easily. I just happened to be in a place that saw this and standing there, and it wasn't badly priced, and I said, I want that. Because I knew what I was going to be doing. I needed it, and I have used it a good bit. Now, you'll be hard pressed to peel them that fast with a draw knife, I promise you. Now, this is not the first project I have done like that. If you'll go back in my video file, it's probably been several years back now, I added on to my shed over where I skin my critters, where I hang up and skin like my raccoons and my stuff that I trap. If I'm skinning stuff that I'm going to eat and process, I go over to the skinning shed and hang up everything over there. But if I'm skinning skunks and possums and raccoons, and a lot of times my squirrels, I skin that out here under my old shed. And I've got a chicken brooder coop out there. Well, I framed all that up. I put sweet gums in the ground, and I framed all the top of that out of poles, round pine poles I cut. So I burned the sweet gum poles, but I did not burn them enough. I just took the torch and the one and just kind of browned them, and that wasn't good enough. I did not soak them in oil either. So these I'm going to burn the little end and turn them upside down. The Foxfire books, they did this with white oak trees mainly. But whatever they used, they burned, they turned them upside down. Something about the way the sap runs and such as this. And that's supposed to help. All of that held up except 2 of them rotted. One of them has not rotted what's in the ground. Maybe I burned it better than the others. It's still solid. The other 2 rotted, and I basically just jacked it up just a little bit where it started sagging and cut it off with a chainsaw, and I slid blocks under it, left it. It's attached to the other building. It is fine that way. So, you know, this is going to be where if I need to, I can replace these poles later in life. I'm designing it such a way, if they do rot, take a chainsaw, cut that joker loose, take the tractor or a jack and another pole and take the weight off of this pole and cut it in 2 if I have to and get it out of there, and I'll put something new under it. So I'm experimenting. So I watched Smoky Mountain Outpost. It's a YouTube channel. This guy is in Tennessee. I don't know right where at. Obviously eastern Tennessee, I would assume. I mean, that's kind of common sense. And he's building out of these kind of pine trees, doing what I want to do. So I have watched some of his videos, and that's where I'm getting my information on how to do this. It ain't nothing new. The old timers have been building out of stuff for a long time. And not to mention, I wanted the nostalgia of the round peeled poles. So what we're going to do, once we burn that little end, I'm going to build a fire right over there under this end where they sticking out over my logs. Let me walk over here where you can see a little more better. They sticking out over this runner. I'm going to probably have to take a hammer and knock them this way or the tractor or something where I can burn good that end. And I'm going to take a log roller. I think we call it a peavy. But you roll them logs, and I'm going to where I can get over there and roll them and make sure I burn all the way around them. And I want to burn them good up about 2 foot. I'm not going to put them over 2 foot in the ground. I don't see the point for just a side shed going 3 foot or deeper in the ground, not here. Especially as big as they are. And we're going to burn them good about 2 foot up. Then I'm going to take that gas bottle and that torch, that wand, and I'm going to burn the rest of it just lightly, start turning it brown, and then we're going to rub some kind of an oil over all of it. I'm really going to brush this in. Now, my dad has just had to do some work on his tractor, and he has saved about a 5-gallon bucket of hydraulic oil over there that is used. It being thin, I want to use it, especially on that bottom down there that's going to go in the ground. So that's where we at on doing this. Just kind of wanted to update you. I did a reel, and I said I wasn't going to do no whole lot of videos on this, but I got down here and was like, well, you know, while I'm walking around trying to tie up some loose ends today, I wanted to come down here and give an idea to everybody about where I'm at, what I'm doing. And them little shorts, I'll be honest with y'all, I do some long, but I really hate them. Instagram, I throw some reels on there, and most of it is comedy and just being funny stuff. But I'm trying to share what I'm doing. A lot of it is experimental, but I think you can learn from it, because once I'm done, if it works, hey, it worked. If it don't, I'll be like, hey, you don't want to try this, or if you do try it, you want to do different than I did. And that's kind of the idea that I go at things. It's not like, hey, I know more than everybody else, and I'm trying to show you what you need to do. We basically just document an experiment. So anyway, I got one more thing up here I wanted to film while I got the camera out. Hang with me. Well, y'all, while I was doing some filming, figured I'd open up some more stuff. Number one, I told y'all the other day that I ordered a couple of knives. Somebody said I done cornered them. I think Tommy said I done cornered the market on them fishing knives. Y'all know I ordered this Imperial the other day. I got it on eBay. Now this one I think I paid like $17 for. But I mean, and this is the last thing I am ordering. I don't order myself a lot of stuff, but I found I like these. And here's the next thing. When you find a good deal on something. So, most of you know that I tote the yellow knives a lot. Well, look at him. Now that one has a little different style salt on it. This is a Saber. Japan. It ain't gonna focus on that, I guarantee you. You might can see where it says Saber. But anyway, a little bit more heavy duty knife. Needs a, oh no, that joker's sharp. Let me close that saw or that scaler. Everybody, that tickles me because, and I don't know why I said that, but I done see several people say, oh, it's a survival knife, it's got a saw on it. So it's a fish scaler and a hook remover. Now this hook remover is more of a notch. And I don't know how that'll perform compared to what that is. You can see the difference in them. And then my Queen is a lot finer. But that's the thing I like is that hook remover because in your pocket you, but y'all that thing here is sharp. But I like old antique pocket knives. I am a fan of pocket knives. So I'm gonna put my, and one thing now, this one, well, figure out which blade's which here. I don't know, it's pretty thin too. You see these blades are pretty thin. Oh, now this one, I noticed it is real thin. But it makes it a really good cutter. And talking about that, when I went to the mailbox, look what they sent me. I mean, Christmas catalog. The last thing I need is a knife catalog. So, Charlie Pickerel sent me a box here. And I said, well, I'm going to see what we got in here. I have no idea. No idea. Let's see, we got a note on top. I really enjoyed your videos. I am a Christian myself. Love your just-in-time videos. I love to hunt and fish as well. And had these horns hanging in my garage and thought you might put them to use. Make a knife handle or something. May God bless you. He sent me plenty fire starter. Man, y'all, look good. Somebody's pretty good at hunting. I don't know if it's him or who. Them ain't small deer. He's somebody's big kid. Look at him. Y'all, I think if I had to guess, I bet you them two go together. Them two look like they match more. I bet he's sitting there, yeah. I can tell by the color of them horns and the way they're shaped. This is a lot like the 12 point that I killed right here. But y'all, I'm talking about making some stuff. Man, thank you, Mr. Charlie. We would definitely be doing some crafting. So anyway. All these boxes up, fire starter and whatnot. So anyway. We got a lot of projecting we got to do. I have got a knife laying here that Uncle Sasquatch sent me. I have got to put a sheath together for it. I am working on some more patch knives, but I got to do some work right here on the blade of that one. And odd and stuff. So anyway, thank y'all for watching Spirited Outdoors. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. We'll see y'all. Y'all have a good one.